So we are 6 months into 2024, and I think so far I've read 37 books. Unhinged behavior, I know, but then you are also unhinged because you're following a booktuber in the first place. Okay, I'm kidding. Please don't unsubscribe or stop watching the video. I was kidding. We're all sane people. And because of popular demand, I thought I should give my opinions on some of the books that I've read so far. All that work, and what did it get me? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So far, I only have one 5-star book for you, which I'll save for the last. But talking about zero, I can't give you a 0. So I give you a 1. I don't know what that meme is exactly, but that meme applies for this book. I don't know why so many of you were so crazy about it. This book is your typical fake dating trope, and if you don't know what that is, I'll put a screenshot somewhere here. It's basically about a lecturer and a student who's doing a PhD, and apparently, like, what the lecturer is doing that could change the world, and the research that this PhD student is doing can also change the world. But somehow, these two very intelligent people cannot communicate their basic feelings to each other, and both of them constantly think that the other one does not have feelings for them. But literally everyone, including their mom in this book, knows that they both are crazy about each other. Some of the characters in this book were so, the description was so done and dusted, like the girl who's into unicorns and everything cute and pumpkin lattes and all that, and the man is very like broody, moody, very rigid, dark, only likes broccoli, that kind of a thing. Like, we've heard that before. Give us something fresh, give us something new. And some of the things in this book were so silly, like, oh, there is no space in the hall, so why don't you go and sit in your boyfriend's lap during the lecture? Like, who does that? In which college are we letting students sit in their lecturer's lap, even if that lecturer is not like their direct lecturer, they're not a part of the department? Like, no, no, absolutely not. I would rather recommend Hating Game over this. Next one is this very super popular book, which has been recommended by every it girl. Dua Lipa, Florence Pugh, Olivia Wilde, basically all of your, I don't know, Golden Globe Awards lineup has recommended this book. I've done a detailed part by part review of this book if you want to go watch that. But yeah, it's this, The Girls. It's set in the late 1960s, early 70s, when hippie culture was really popular in the States, and it was very normal for someone to leave their home. And it's about a girl, Evie, and how she comes across this, not just comes across, how she becomes a part of this cult. If you know anything about Charles Manson, it's kind of inspired from that, which makes the storyline and the book so interesting. It's about Evie being a teenager, taking all these wrong decisions, but even when he's taking those wrong decisions while joining the cult, her character is written so well that you kind of sympathize with her. You know, our girlfriends, how they don't see red flags in guys. Like, we'll keep telling them red flag, and they're like, huh? What? I can't see. I'm blind. Like, red, blue. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, Evie is a little bit like that. But like I said, she's written so well that you kind of root for her. Yeah, you just want better for her. So it's a good coming of age slash true crime inspired book. It's 3.5, 4 stars. I enjoyed this read. Next is, let me look for a thin gal. I'm not fat shaming, just like these books are both like some 300 odd pages. Next can be Convenience Store Woman. As you can see, a very quick read. It's about a woman who's in her 40s, and she's been working on the same convenience store for the last 20 years. She's never had a boyfriend. The author is trying to say that she does not have really big ambitions, and she does feel that sometimes people are not really befriending her, or she just feels very odd amongst everyone because she does not have like a fancy job, or she's not married, so she's not basically going somewhere in life. So if you are someone who kind of feels stuck in their life, or you feel like I'm very happy with what I am, I think you might really like this book. And it's also funny. It's not like it's not that kind of funny. It's like funny, a little deadpan, a little dry. So yeah. And I definitely had this new appreciation for convenience stores workers after reading this. Like, I had no idea that you had to apply so much marketing also involved when you work at a convenience store. It's not about logistics, it's also about how you want to sell that product. So yeah, good read. Next one is, oh, I recently spoke about this book in one of my other videos, The Forest of Enchantments. Very, very beautiful book. It's about the Ramayana, but from Sita's perspective. So you can call it Sitayan. Throughout the book, Sita talks about her understanding of love and how every event has shaped her understanding. And how by the end of her life she felt so rejected by her husband. Like there was so much love between them, but for Ram, his duty towards his praja was always more important. I would definitely recommend this to everyone, even if you're not someone who's into like Indian mythologies. Please go and read this, because don't just treat it as a mythology or a Ramayan book. It's so much more than that. It's about every woman, how every woman is treated in every relationship, as a mother, as a daughter-in-law, as a sister, wife, and everything that women go through. And she, being a goddess, also had to go through all of those human emotions. So yeah, 4-star read, loved it. Next is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. It's a semi autobiography about Sylvia Plath and her struggle with mental health. So definitely trigger warning if you're not in a very good place in your life. Do not read this book. There's conversations about suicide, suicide ideation, severe mental health issues. So yeah. So of course we all know Sylvia Plath was a poet. So the writing in the book is extremely beautiful. There are times when the you're not really able to follow the flow of the book, because suddenly Sylvia will go into the past and talk about an incident in the past, or refer to someone in the past, which can sometimes feel a little uncomfortable because you feel like, huh, Avita, I was reading something else. But I think that's how everybody's brain works, right? Like whenever you're thinking back, we never think about our memories in a chronological order. So I think which is why when we talk about the writing style, it made sense for the book to be structured that way. Like when there are flashbacks, it does not start with a new chapter. It can start from anywhere. Also, you can really understand her, how down, how low she felt during that period. And it's less about her emotions and feelings, but more about her thoughts. And maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's what happens when you're in depression. You are numb on the inside, you're a shell, an empty shell. So you're not filled with like these extreme feelings of anger or sadness. It's just numbness. And I think she captured that in this book really, really well. And in the book, she's constantly thinking about how to herself. Um, if she's on a bridge, she's thinking, can I jump off this bridge? If she sees a rope, she thinks, can she herself? If she's in the water, if she's swimming, she's thinking how to drown herself. So there is this ease also in the way with which she's constantly thinking about it. You know, the way you would think about your grocery list or what you want to do that whole day. That's how she's thinking about things. So, yeah, you can definitely see her mental health struggle in this book. But only read it if you're not someone who would be bothered by such kind of words or literature. Otherwise, just if you're not in a good place, please skip it. Next one is everybody's like everyone is her fan. I am I'm not saying I'm not a fan, but I'm also not. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I am just very neutral about this author. Please don't come at me. It's Sally Rooney and her book Beautiful World, Where Are You Now? It's a no plot, just vibes book. If you're in a reading slump, definitely go for it because it's very, very easy to read. It's about four friends and the conversations that they're having. And the book does not really have like a tipping point. It's not building up to something like a major incident, but it's about today's generation and how we feel about relationships and careers and travel, our parents, but also about world issues like climate change, world economics, or world economics, which is the right way to pronounce. I don't know. I'm a booktuber, I'm not an English teacher, so please keep that in mind. Classism, racism, and how we tend to discuss everything under the sun with our friends. We could be talking to them about our crush and in the same breath talk to them about world health. Yep. If you're in a reading slump, go read this. Last and the only 5-star read of this year for me is this beautiful, stunning. She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. It's The Palace of Illusions. It's from the same author who wrote Forest of Enchantments. This book is about the Mahabharata and from Draupadi's perspective. Again, I've done a detailed review of this in another video where I literally cried in the video. This book is so beautiful. It's about Draupadi's growing up years and what she felt about all of her husbands, her duties, her perception, her mistakes. Just yeah, I fail to describe how I feel about this book. Just go watch that detailed review or just read it. Please buy it. If you've been watching so far and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so that I can keep coming here and you can keep getting these awesome book recommendations. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.